The Best Mariachi in the World, written by J.D. Smith, illustrated by Danny Jones. Gustavo was the worst mariachi in the world. Everyone else in the family band could play an instrument, but not Gustavo. He did not play songs at weddings or at restaurants. He did not wear a charro suit or a sombrero. Sometimes he'd reach for the bow of his brother Raimundo's violin. Raimundo quickly said, "Don't touch the bow of my violin. You might break it. It is not for you." Sometimes Gustavo tried to play his Uncle Enrique's bass trumpet. Uncle Enrique gently said, "Put down my trumpet. You might drop it. It is not for you." Gustavo did not even try to pick up his father's guitar. It was taller than he was. Gustavo wondered how it would feel to strum the long strings. He imagined everyone would listen. People would look at him. The men and the women would get up and dance. All the children would dance and clap. He would be Gustavo, the great mariachi. But that would never happen. No one would let him play. He would always be the worst mariachi in the world. Even his cousins would not let him try to play their guitar, trumpet, or violin. They would say, "This is not for you." Gustavo thought. "I want to be in the band, in the mariachi band. But what can I do?" Gustavo got up one morning before dawn. He looked out into the desert and he saw the cacti. The saguaro cactus stood like huge trees. The nopales cactus lay close to the ground. The sky was a black bowl of stars. Somewhere an owl hooted. A coyote padded over the sand. Everything was beautiful. No one was there to play, but he had to stand up and sing. He just had to sing. He sang softly at first, barely moving his lips. The next day he got up a little earlier. He sang in a whisper. The day after that, Gustavo sang a little bit louder. The following day, he sang louder still. He did not think about where he was or how early it was. Before the first rooster crowed, before the first light of the day peeked out of the east, Gustavo sang and sang at the top of his voice. One by one, the lights in the houses came on. A man called out, "What is happening?" A woman wondered, "Who is that?" A child asked, "Who is singing?" Gustavo kept singing. He sang of a traveling man. He sang of faraway places and of coming home again. He sang all the songs he knew. He sang all the songs that he knew, like his own name. A crowd of people came out to listen. At last, Gustavo finished singing. He was done with his song. He turned to go inside. It was time to feed the chickens. The people started to clap. They liked his singing. They were clapping for his songs. "Gustavo!" they called out. "Bravo! Very good!" They kept clapping. Women waved their handkerchiefs. His brother gave him a big hug and said, "You're a real mariachi." His father said, "You, my son, just may be the best mariachi in the world." His cousins carried Gustavo, the best mariachi, into the house. They made a huge breakfast. Then they fed the chickens for him. The next time the band played, Gustavo wore a charro suit. He wore a sombrero. He sang the songs that had brought everyone outside. All the people clapped and cheered. He took off his sombrero and took a deep bow. This, Gustavo thought, is for me. Thank you for joining.